Definitely feels like a pick they took advantage of because they had FY on their team for sure. I don't know why I'm getting that hunch from it, but I'm curious to see what FY does decide to do with it as we get into action, gentlemen. This could be our last game of the day. Not if VG Gaming have anything to say about it. They would love to push this to a game 3 before we take some rest and head into some more MDL action tomorrow. We'll see which team is going to be staying alive here. IG, of course, already with that long-fought Game 1 victory. We'll see if they can do it again. Already, the TPs are out. FY is taking it to the jungle. This time he's got wards in hand. He will... Let's see if he just straight up blocks the camp. No, he's just going to provide some vision. And block.
There we go.
Nice little pull back there. He'll head up and above, and Yang and Ori and company will kind of be over on the other side. Meanwhile, Amy has spotted out some IG company here, and Baboka is actually not going to find the Tor connection. So Phoenix gets a little bit of insight, walks on out, and it looks like IG were able to get one little off-lane ward here. So they'll see End hanging out. Double mango for End. So stacking the regen and having the... you know, mana burst just in case he needs to Stormhammer out of trouble, I guess, or Stormhammer into a kill.
Some new style of build coming out, kind of.
Yeah, I don't see that very often.
Same time, it's like, you're Sven, what else do you really need? You're against... The Shaker offlane is one of those offlaners you know as a safe lane carry you're going to free farm against with any small amount of support. Shaker does not really pressure or have much kill potential unless he gets like a... I mean, 1v1 with him against a melee hero, sure, but with the Phoenix there, he should be having an easy time.
The battle begins.
And of course, they'll leave Burning on his Weaver to hang out on the bottom with Captain Q on his Shadow Shaman. How do you think Yang's going to be faring on his Nyx Assassin in the offlane? You do have the quite powerful Shadow Shaman with his 74 base damage coming at you, but he's got some regen.
All the more damage to Carapace, I guess.
Okay, fair enough.
No, not so much the case. But I think he should do quite well. He's got wards for vision, for blocking the pull camp. He's got a poor man shield, and he's going to likely have some Enchantress support later on. So I think if he can just get enough out of this first 2 to 3 minutes, while he waits for the Enchantress to kind of prime that gank, then you're looking good.
Yeah, I think he should be okay. He's got good armor and pretty good regen, and they have to be careful about committing too hard to try and kill him because that Enchantress can come through and with the creep and just very quickly pick off a kind of slow and lumbering Shadow Shaman, so you have to be careful about that. But at the same time, though, and they have that ward to kind of help protect him with the Kunkka coming in, it's also a serious kill threat. So I think ideally he wants to play this so that he... well, I think he just made a fatal mistake right there. It was in 3-man carry pace, and that will just barely be able to prevent first blood. So
Dang.
I like what he did there because he has to play this in a way that doesn't make it too obvious where the ward is. Like, if he just backs off after seeing the Kunkka, they know there's a ward. They want to get some value out of that and then stop them from pulling as well. So
Got a full creep in this tower now as a reward, so this is really nice. This is exactly what he wants. The first 2-3 minutes, the creep actually comes to his lane to help him out. And we'll see top
move
lane.
in, yeah, for XXS, and leading with the Stormhammer, the long Sunray burn does some work, but not enough to get the finish. So both offlaners under some heavy pressure, but surviving.
Yep.
And our mid lane matchup is looking pretty neck and neck. 10-4, 10-3 right now.
I think the scary thing is the Nyx getting those levels, because this means when the Enchantress does theoretically rotate, there's really high kill potential. Whereas Shaker, if he's getting sent out of this lane, it's not like there's going to be an early rotation up top to kill the Sven or a Phoenix. But if you could have zoned this Nyx level 1, it means that Enchantress gank isn't that scary, because it's just a level 1 Impale. Now it's like a level 2 Impale, potentially level 2 Carapace. The more levels it gets, the scarier that gank is going to be.
This Enchantress, though, is smoked and heading to the other side of the map. This one could be not suspected at all by IG. Baboka is waiting right behind XXS, who looks like a very weak and wounded target. Oh, here come the creeps of FY here to kind of scout things out a bit. Now they make their move in with the Stormhammer. That should be more than enough to be able to get the finish. Baboka does show himself to land the Torrent, but obviously can't offer any additional assistance for his Earthshaker friend. A good, successful first lane approach of FY in the top lane.
Now, worth noting that XSS did not take any points in Fissure, so there was no block like that at the beginning, no way to try and potentially seal off terrain and defend himself from these wraparound. I have to assume that FY is going to kind of go for these on the Enchantress, wrapping around whether it's the off lane or the mid. He can do that from the safety of high ground as well, just because of the way the Radiant jungle is. So I think Dire probably would favor Enchantress a little bit more. Has a bit more of a threat profile. And then look, he can access, as a Dire, he can access these two Radiant camps from the same level of terrain or from high ground even. Whereas if he's playing Enchantress on Radiant, he has to go onto the high ground to find those camps for the Dire. And for this neutral area here. So the Enchantress does have some advantages that being played on the Dire against Radiant.
Well, we'll see where the next move in rotation goes. Looks like he's maybe just going to grab another couple of creeps or heading out once again. The lane's overall fairly stable for both sides, despite the first blood being given up in that offlaner. The cores that are meant to be farming are on both sides. The offlaners both getting a little bit out of their lanes, and no towers being too heavily pressured just yet.
OP turning back to his lane now, but Boca had stepped away in the meantime from that top lane position to get some little bit of soul XP, I guess, as OP steps out for the rune. But now Baboka can make his return possibly back to this top lane, just in case, because Amy's now shifted in, and this Phoenix is going to get a little annoying to the backside of XXS. But we're not going to be seeing a whole lot of early kill potential across these lanes. It's pretty much on, maybe for VG's side, wherever FY decides to poke his head in. Oh, but bottom lane, they might have gotten the upper hand onto Yang. His Carapace, though, is going to get triggered, and with a rotation coming in from Amy and that Sunray, it might be enough, but oh, Yang again, barely able to live. Just one little precious right click.
Ooh. Got the beat of gold too. Value. But yeah, he is really pushing his hero to the limit in this offlane. Some great offlane play. Now has the Shrine too, so he's not even out of this lane, and Burning had to commit a decent amount of his health and mana to go for that one. Does have 10 Ghost Salves clarity, so he's not going to be out of the lane by any means, but Nyx getting his levels. That's always what you want to see and do as a Nyx in an offlane.
Alright, let's see how mid's faring. As the levels were coming together, I was curious to see if the DK was going to be able to go over at some point. Still hanging in there though, 36 on the Troll to DK's 30. And we know DK to be one to really reside his way into this mid lane and plant himself here, or maybe even hope the Troll just steps away and that he can open up onto the tier 1 tower. But what is OP's objective going to be as the Troll? Does he hang here opposite to the DK all during that while, or is he going to be more proactive about taking fights?
May look to group up when Shaman's 6, so you've got Serpent Wards plus Troll. You're a pretty strong pushing force, but doesn't really feel like there's easy rotations for him. Barring like a good, I mean, Kunkka has some initiation potential with the X Torrent as a setup, so maybe that's what they'll look for, a few more levels on Kunkka.
Dragon still in onto OP as his haste does expire. He flies out from the trees, coming in with the Sunray and the Icarus dive. OP dishes out the Whirling Axes. He's trying to run. The miss chances are there. They're working out. But eventually the burn is just a bit too strong, and Ori will be able to get the finish. But Boca was close by, but doesn't have any hard commitment over to help out.
This Phoenix has been quite surprisingly effective in this early game. The pressure at top, the rotation mid. I feel like not often you see this Phoenix do a whole lot at early levels. But what we're seeing out of Amy has definitely been more than what most Phoenixes achieve in the early game.
Yeah, and even though it feels like he's moving around a little bit, he's got some decent levels for 7 minutes in. X pull back possibly for Yang, and that leads to the fissure block in. OP can chop away safely from a distance here, but VG have plenty of posse still around to be able to safely escort him out.
Yeah, and the Troll is kind of in a difficult place at this point. Like, he really wants items and wants to farm. He doesn't really want to be fighting at this point. There's not a whole lot that he brings, except maybe an ult to the table, even with those added levels. So I was thinking there's a possibility that he'd maybe go into the jungle a little bit more and free up his supports to get some experience, because they do need experience. Like, Kunkka's level 4 right now, and same with Shadow Shaman wanting to get up those wards as soon as possible. since they didn't have a pole camp bottom to pull from, that's even of more paramount importance for them to get up to XP.
Good heads up from Q. Tried to go for the rune, but Yang stunned him, the haste rune, and since the stun was already committed, he was forced to TP away.
He reaches strong point when they get this Nyx level 6 with his arcane boots. Maybe by the, it's more the arcane boots. I mean, he'll have level 6 for sure. May even need like level 7. But arcane boots is really when you have the mana to be a lot more active and start moving around the map.
So would you like to see them put the heavier attention on with this Vendetta? Keep pressuring the troll area in that mid lane, or is it, you know, head towards Weaver? You might have to hold that thought though. They've committed into that middle lane without OP there. A hard push in for Baboka, but now OP stepped in. They're going to be able to take out Amy on that Phoenix. The Dragon hard committed, and Ori going to get surrounded and finished off. Burning steps in with a double kill as he steps out from that bottom lane.
Yeah, nice rotation. Weaver, something Weaver can do that the Sven can't really do, or at least doesn't want to do, is TP in and make some plays early on with his mobility, guaranteeing that you're not just TPing in and not getting kills, you can chase down and clean up very effectively.
Yeah, so they did end up rotating the troll to the jungle a little bit and try to give Bobacat some experience. VG saw this and were like, hey, we could just bully this guy and run at him. But a timely rotation there from Burning, and as a carry player, like having a sense of timing, knowing when to come to fights, when you can clean up, and when it's like good use of your time versus just losing out on farm or taking a risky fight. Burning definitely made the right decision there.
XXS should be dead for sure here, but a nice torrents there, and he manages to get the dunk off, allows him to turn it around and get the takedown at least onto fellow offlaner Yang.
You know, was gonna say that very likely the Earthshaker would be a targeted focus for the Nyx. Obviously, Burning is a little bit more difficult to kill. The mid lane is also hard for it to be in a position where there's both no counter vision and where you can get a clean initiation onto somebody without help coming in from the tower. So with that in mind, the offlane seems like a natural choice. You want to slow down that Earthshaker to begin with from his blink, and then you want to make him feel more threatened and be afraid to come up to the wave. Maybe even force him to the jungle as well. Which would restrict a lot of space. So, good choice there, but excellent play there by XXX, salvaging the kill before he goes down.
Yep, just a bit short on the firepower from VG's side to be able to get that clean finish. Plus, it helps that Baboka was nearby with the good torrent, giving that little bit of extra breathing room. And they still rally behind XXS even now, maybe just trying to apply some pressure on this tier 1.
Serpent wards, they're up. Yeah, that creep wave gave him the level 6, so.
Very nice. Now Yang is creeping in from behind with the Vendetta already out. A TP's coming in under the tower. And Sven also is walking into action. This time they should be able to get the swifter finish onto XXS. The rest of IG have already waddled away from the trouble. It's about a 4-man commitment to the top lane. That leaves FY all alone. That means that Baboka can move in, hit him up with the X, and allow Emperor Burning to be able to clean him up. But FY has TP'd away. They don't have any additional stuns because of the X being used, and FY makes it out.
Q did get the tower last hit at top. He had like 2 or 3 serpent wards left there while they'll clean them up, and he managed to get the last hit despite that.
Nice.
So while
I think it was
VG
like the final serpent ward that he had, right?
just watching it, yeah, I was rewatching it in 30 TV, and 10 seconds till I was like, dang, he actually got that. That was first, it was a good hold if you clean up those serpent wards, but not getting the tower deny, I think, makes it a pretty even trade up top.
And even now, as VG are heavily pressuring this top tier 1, there's light defense from IG, but they're, you know, still getting plenty across the other parts of the map. OP rather, working his way through the mid lane, get some hits onto that tier 1 tower, and Burning is still down here, firing his way forward. He's got about 1,300 gold. And trying to see if I get a hint from what he's going to be building up to early. So he gets straight to Lincoln's kind of a game.
On the Weaver, Lincoln's is okay, not essential this game.
Oh, he walks in, goes for the dunk, but the egg comes out. XXS is able to get the fissure off, and they're trying to burst through Yang. They will be able to bring him down. Both offlaners are dropped. Amy, after popping out from the egg, will be able to TP home. But again, they will manage to prolong this Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker.
Yeah, he had a decent laning stage, but since then it's consecutive deaths for this Earthshaker. And Burning getting very involved.
They rotated everyone over, actually, from IG. Didn't notice that even Burning was trying to get up there. This means the bottom lane's open up, and Ori just takes the last hit on the tower.
It does look like Burning's going a Diffusal, maybe not as his first item, but that Robe of the Magi is like a... You're going to get a Diffusal at some point. I think he decides whether it's after the Linken's or before it, or even just, get a Linken's. We'll have to wait and see.
Forge Spirit! He's fine. Dances his way back to the fountain, while VG already moving on to their next tower. A tier 2 suddenly in this bottom lane with God Strength and the Dragon form. They have plenty of demolition power, but here comes IG rolling in. They got the fissure. The right clicks are poking out from Burning as he puts his focus onto end. FY dealing with his own little critter. But it looks like VG will be able to safely get the hell out.
Yeah, this early push, these bruises in the front lines, DK and Sven are so hard to fight into. DK's already tanky with a lot of armor. He gets Warcry as well. Troll and Weaver do hardly any damage, and their magic damage is not really all that present here. The Earthshaker Blink will maybe change that a bit, but until that point, the magic damage actually going to a Sven or a DK is definitely a lacking point of this IG draft.
Back to taking tier 1s here. They have the wards up onto Q, so to the mid lane they go.
That's a big part about this Diffusal on Weaver, is it's going to act as a way to get rid of the Warcry.
There go the wards. Can Vici somehow bring them down? Ooh, a pullback into those wards, into a torrent setup. But the wards are going to stay committed onto the tower here. Sven looks to go onto Q here. Q turns around, just gets the simple shackles onto that Sven. Will allow for the easy setup onto those wards. And suddenly 2 are going to be dropped from Vici's side. This should allow them to clear out the tier 1 without too much trouble, but still, Vici linger around. FY tries to go in for the deny. Will he pay the price for it? No. It looks like XXS has mercy.
The Troll Pick versus the Phoenix Egg working out for them. And just a good initiation using this Kunkka, punishing the fact Sven does not have any kind of a BKB magic resistance. Once he's caught, he is well and truly caught. Kunkka acting as one of the decent sources of magic damage at this point with that Ghost Ship initiation.
Yeah, there you see some of the issues with the Sven. Like, he's not going to have BKB at this point, and they don't have the best control for him to be able to deal that damage. So in that fight, he turns on ult, goes Mask of Madness, gets disabled by 3 different disables, and I think he took like 2 steps forward for like the last like 10 seconds of that fight, and there was just nothing he could do at that point. And then the Enchantress doesn't really solve that problem either. Like, their lineup isn't really equipped to solve that problem. Maybe the DK goes in on somebody and the Sven can follow up, but it's just hard for him to be able to express himself, so to speak. So
Time to farm me some stacks, though, if you're end. Couldn't quite get the final stack in there at the end, but we'll get a nice chunk of money here for what looks like the Blink Dagger. He's hoping to just jump over the haters, over the fissure and all that magic, and just get the job done right away.
He's quite underfarmed for Sven. He hasn't had stacks until that point there. He's been brought in to push and take objectives, of which I think VG Gaming have done a good job pressuring towers, but the balance hasn't been right. You ideally want to be farming your stack and then grouping up. You need to kind of do a bit of both. In this game, it feels like he's been fighting and pushing while not farming at all in the jungle and getting those stacks going.
Speaking of Black King Bar, is one almost in the hands of OP here. He's simply missing out on the recipe. Has a double stack of Ancients to help him get there that much faster. And then we could see IG hit a nice power stride. Like how I said power stride instead of power peak. I'm trying to change it up a bit.
Nice.
I don't think it works though. Power stride, is that a thing? It's like an Olympic event probably.
Power stride, yeah. Yeah, it sounds more like a way of
aerobics maybe. Yeah. Here they come through this top lane though. Does VG Gaming? IG are slowly positioning themselves up and over. They know that they can take a more confident team fight here, especially now that XXS has that sweet Blink Dagger. He may have been spotted.
What is the plan?
Oh, a jump for the bird. Oh, and they deny him the Icarus time with the dunk. Is he still going to be able to fly away? No, he's not. Oh, he got the egg off, though. But he's dead for sure. All right, well, it's a dunk for a Phoenix.
Yeah, it's not really that important of a cooldown to lose at this stage. I think VG Gaming are at a farming point now where they've had a few okay successful pushes and fights, but they need to complete this Sven BKB, so having no supernova isn't going to likely be punished or matter too much, and by the time Phoenix respawns, it's only going to be a minute away. I think this game has slowed down, and that is, to me, more concerning for VG Gaming. They're going to struggle to deal with the Weaver as far as their carries being kited around. The Troll, same thing. He may even be more as a range troll until the Sven gets on top going melee form. He can kind of kite them as necessary.
What? Yang, I didn't even see how he slid over there, but he found his way closer to the team, but they are persistent on getting a hold of that little beetle. And they'll finally be able to bring him down. Ooh, good fissure. Connects onto 3. They're looking at FY, though. While, look at this, a deeper commitment from Burning, looking to square up onto Ori while the rest of the team going to be dealing with that Enchantress back and behind. Still can't quite get a hold of her, but there's the X, there's the Torrent, there's the finish. 2 go down from VG Gaming side as IG strut their stuff through the bottom half of the map. And they're going to be moving on in for a tier 2. They do have the wards here. I don't know if they feel it's necessary for Q to commit them rather at this point.
May just want to get a tower, get back, be more efficient so you can go back to farming.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, he's not going to use the wards here.
Not for now. With the Troll, they still push decently fast.
Yep. And there they go in on it. VG are just farming in the meantime.
Yep.
Working with it if they can.
May consider Roche soon. I think IG have established really good map control, taking a lot of these towers, gotten some decent vision up as well. They can grab an Aegis early on. They put themselves in a fine position.
I think that's really kind of the crux of VG strategy. They want to be able to run at you and keep you down a little bit early. The Sven does have late game options and farming efficiency, but the Enchantress is very good at taking Roshan, and so if they're not able to get Roshan or get these pushes going early, the game changes quite a bit. And right now it's IG that's actually in the pit with the Serpent Wards and the Troll. So this is something that VG cannot simply accept.
IG are doing it. VG, though, had that vision. They make their move in. Nice stun connection there, but OP's going to pop out that new BKB and begins to go to work on a Yang. But XXS steps in, gets a good dunk, and in trouble right in front of Roche. Burning beating him down. The Ward's beating him down. And eventually, he will just fall. A 1-for-1 trade. Yang going to be next. As he gets dropped right between those trees. A dive in from AB, committing him with the egg. OP looks to turn to the egg and try to crack it, but Ori's dishing out the damage. It helps him get the finish onto that troll. The egg will pop, the stun is there. XXS is in a lot of trouble, and he goes down 2. It's just Q and Burning now alive, fighting out the 3. Q's going to get latched up next. And he's going to sacrifice himself to create the space for Burning to be able to make it out. VG Gaming hold the Roche pit area.
Wow. That looked like a fight. I mean, IG definitely winning the fight at the start there. They kill the Sven. They punish the fact they have BKB and he doesn't. So Sven has to engage to stop Roche going down, but as long as Earthshaker's not getting caught, he's going to blink Echo and kill that Sven. But it's the ensuing fight, once the Troll's BKB wore off, IG still... They had this mentality that, hey, Sven's dead, we win this fight, but they actually are not as strong as they thought they are. When that Enchantress is sitting back throwing impetuses, the egg goes down with a DK stun to kind of support it. IG just overcommitted to trying to kill a Supernova egg that they weren't really in fighting shape to bring down.
IG are not letting this Roche go, though. They get right back at it.
They don't have much downtime in their draft. I mean, the Echo's cooldown is something, but I think the Supernova is the more important cooldown. And they also know the Sven BKB isn't up. So as long as Sven doesn't have BKB, VG Gaming are only sort of ready to contest this.
All VG have been able to kind of force IG to step off a bit, though, as they move their way through this mid lane. A smoke, though, popped. Nyx Illusion's nearby.
So they lose that sentry, they know life gets more dangerous in the pit.
Well, that's just out of range. Centaur's creeping in, but Vici Gaming are further north, waiting around. Do IG just decide to walk into the pit? Oh, they're gonna go back towards the mid lane and push it out from there. Meanwhile, Amy alone with his Midas, split pushing bird.
Once again, maybe that level 15. It's pretty amazing talent that Phoenix gets. Well, either way, he's got the the best level 15 talents in the game.
Lots of money or some good fire spirit DPS.
The next major goal point for VG is going to be these BKBs. They've kind of rushed them a little bit, maybe on the DK and Sven. And as soon as they get that, there's not really anything in the way of dealing with BKB in terms of being able to control or kite VG's heroes once that's up. So that's going to be a very crucial timing for them to kind of deathball. So the Aegis is great for IG in terms of being able to, if they get that, to be able to forestall that. If not, I could see VG with BKBs heading over to the Roche pit to be able to secure that Aegis and push off of it, because you're still at a point where when those BKBs come online, the Troll and the Weaver don't have that much damage. So that's like kind of a weak point for IG, so they have to be careful of that.
And they really had a lot of respect there. They didn't want to move in at all while Sven didn't complete his BKB. Now Sven has the BKB, and VG are just kind of taking over this area, and IG have been lingering around, just farming the camps, waiting. But now, here comes VG, taking things over. IG have been able to kind of wiggle out through the other side, so it looks like they've dodged.
Yeah, going for that Aegis feels a heck of a lot better if they manage to get a pick off on the Earthshaker first, and they have to be kind of careful not to really commit to that here.
So they go back and they farm through the jungle, and will probably take themselves out through the lanes here. IG will be a bit more comfortable once they start seeing them show themselves. But now IG have smoked it, seeing that this could be the chance. VG are also there with their own smoke. Oh, there's the move in, and BKBs go out and go flying. A hard hit for Q, but Q gets the force staff, heads out the other side.
Well, that's not good for VG.
Fire Soul in. Ward's now committed right in front of the pit. It's a lot of pressure onto Yang. He gets his own force staff. Now the Aegor are going to be committed, but that helps him get the finish onto Q. Q, though, had already committed his wards, so it might be okay for IG. IG are trying to use better positioning, hiding up towards the high ground, but Yang gets him with a good two-man stun. OP, a lot of damage. A backline dunk comes out, almost gets the finish onto Amy, but can't quite get it done. Meanwhile, they will get the finish, Burning with a double as he finishes off Yang. Gets the bug kill too. On the other side, waltzes his way right through FY, securing a Sakuchi kill, making it a triple. Things just kind of falling all together for IG on the back end of that.
Yeah, they used those BKBs and didn't do enough damage. They kind of got kited around by IG. They still managed to kill like some supports, and then once those BKBs are down, IG just used their high ground advantage. They have a 4v5 fight, but with positioning advantage, with a good Earthshaker initiation, they still managed to win the fight. Just barely though. If that Enchantress got that Force Staff and Petasoff into the Troll and finished the kill off, it could have been a very different story.
Not done yet though. Another BKB could be up and ready here for End. And he's hoping he can get to that pit before the Roche goes down. The timing might be that they've already caught someone on the back inside, and they're going to get the quick finish onto Baboka. OG moves in, grabs the Aegis, pops his BKB, looks to turn onto End, but the Fissure's kind of blocking him in a bit. End is going to be able to move on over and get that takedown of Q. Now Vici scramble, running out through the pit, trying to get hold of anyone they can from this gaming side, but it looks like they've been able to make it away.
Very back and forth game, but I think also a little bit sloppy from both sides. The teamfight execution, the way these fights are going down is definitely not crisp with the initiations. More so on VG side. You're the ones with the BKB initiations. You should be able to just blink in with the Sven, get that quick kill, and then kind of disengage. There's only one full staff to worry about. There's a Lincoln's on the Weaver, so you can't really go on Weaver, but you don't really want to anyways.
Yeah, that was maybe a bit, again, like safe and sound on the approach, like on that BKB. Like they came in with BKBs immediately, and maybe it was not the right time for it, but it basically signaled to IG, hey, you've got to back off right now. They ended up not really losing anything. I think only the Shadow Shaman died for until the BKBs wore off, and that makes the rest of the fight very easy to take if you're IG. So that's one of those things where maybe if you're so worried about the counter initiation being right there, maybe only one guy goes in first with BKB, or either to draw the attention before you figure out where the other core is, and then you bring in the Sven or the DK to kind of also counter initiate and get damaged on. If you both jump in like that, you've got to get more off that initial wave of initiation.
And you're kind of right, they kind of have to BKB because otherwise the Shaker may just blink echo them and they don't get a chance to use them. So
Baboka walking in with the X. They try to catch him on his X on the way back out, and they found a good opening possibly to get the jump onto IG. They take out both supports once again, but it's OP moving in onto End. going through another BKB charge. He's going to be forced to step off. Now it's focused onto Ori between both Burning and OP. They tag team him down. Now XXS moves in with a dunk, and it will help him get the finish. Burning now godlike on his Weaver. Aegis now going to be popped there onto OP as VG make their escape.
Burning's playing incredibly well this game. He's... I do not want to see Burning on the offlane. ROTK is the right idea. Listen to the man. Burning needs to be playing carry. Just look at these games. Look at when IG's... I mean, this isn't perfect played IG game by any means, but if you look at Burning's individual play, he is carried
just feels
through and
right.
through. Yeah.
Just feels
He's avoided
right.
danger. He's picked his spots. He's made very timely rotations exactly when you need to.
It's like Michael Jordan going to play baseball or whatever. You know? just stick with basketball, man.
I like that
That's what you
example.
do.
That's a very extreme example, but I like that. I think that would be more if Burning went to play League of Legends or something.
That's fair enough. Maybe just Michael Jordan doing golf. We'll see.
I'd be like Michael Jordan playing like a different position in basketball. Like, all right, he's like, I'm going to play center now. Yeah.
But,
like,
you know, in his prime, he probably could, you know? Tier 2 goes down, and IG, that's all they're cool with that. We got our Tier 2. Let's peace out, guys. Back off, farm, get the lanes back, push forward again. We're winning the game now.
It's good use of the Aegis to force that fight up top. They took the last out of tower now, up to the Tier 2 top, Tier 2 mid. They're definitely scaling pretty well. This game could get tricky though, as time goes on. Spending with another item or two. FY. Enchantress is getting pretty scary. If he gets an Ag Scepter, I think he becomes an actual damage threat to both Troll, less so the Weaver, but the Troll is kind of the front-lining BKB carry that may have to worry about those impetuses.
I think though for IG, they're in pretty good shape because they've made it through like danger period or that first danger period of this game, I think. So they got the Aegis, that was a checkbox. The BKBs, they weathered that storm, they didn't give up too many kills at once or objectives, and now the BKB durations start to go down. And that puts pressure on VG because they have, without the immunity, their heroes just get controlled and kited to pieces. So I think VG again has, you know, put themselves in a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, Sven has been chewing through this BK bet like it's nobody's business, down to 7 seconds already. I saw him fire through at least 3 of those charges so fast. Twice for that Roche pit, you know, situation. Oh, look at this. A sentry conveniently in the mid lane spots out poor Yang, and he just gets deleted. And FY could be next. Little Enchantress gets shot.
Sven.
There's the dunk on the Sven as well. It couldn't go any better for IG here. Running into action right now is going to be OPL, golden and glory as ever. He just chomps down the Sven like that. Does have a buyback, but he's looking to slay some dragons here. Burning's moving in. OP's trying his best to just fend them off, but the chase is on. XXS will be able to blink in now. Hits him with the stun. Don't do this to my dragon. The egg will be committed. Can they pop the egg? Yes. They'll get the dragon too. It's a slow and incredibly painful 5-man wipe from VG.
And they've got creeps on the high ground. Convenient.
That was just, oh god, that was just all falling into place all too well there for IG. Congratulations, IG. You are moving on into the next round, just like that.
When your run at the melee cores are BKBing and running the opposite direction, that's when things have not gone well for you. So, yeah, I mean...
Wow, that was a sudden end to our night.
A day of 2-0s, gentlemen. Every game today was a 2-0, even down there to...